Okay, well, let's get right into it, Rob Parker. And last night, now I got to go on First Things First this morning and rip to shreds one of my favorite guys here at FS1, Nick Wright. Because you know he's all on the Lakers going to beat. Not only are the Lakers going to win the West, but he says Denver will beat the Clippers.
He said that today after watching game one.
His pick going into the playoffs was Denver in 6. He amended that after the first round and said Denver in 7. And I don't care if they go
9
best
games.
of 49, right? Denver ain't winning. And I let him have it. And I know you do the same. You got something you want to say. So go ahead. Of course, the Clippers blasted them by 23. It was even worse than that, actually. But you got something on your mind that you want to get off your chest.
I just want to, I don't want to be like a prisoner of the moment or just go over the top with it. But I do believe that.
But here we go.
Kawhi Leonard's the best player in the NBA. And last night, watching that team all together in the clinic that he put on, he had 29 points, Chris, in 32 minutes, 12 of 16 shooting. And this is not like he just had one good game. These are the things that you start to look at and you see this guy's shooting 64.5% inside the three-point arc this postseason. Not last night.
What's he shooting outside the three-point arc?
I don't have that. I just
30%.
Yeah, okay. 30, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. 64.5. And he's the first player since Michael Jordan in 1988, you hear me, 1988, to score at least 29 points in his first 7 postseason games. He could have easily had 30 if he played. Remember, last night he didn't even play the fourth quarter because it was a rout. And the thing about Kawhi, and I get it, people will make all the excuses. Oh, he's always hurt. He's always load managing. He's this, he's that. He doesn't play enough games to be the MVP. He's never won a regular season MVP, even though he's won a couple of finals MVP. He is the best player in the league. And I'm talking about of the people available playing right here, right now. We could talk about Kevin Durant next year when he's back in the league. I'm talking about of the players playing, he's the best player in the league.
You're basically saying he's better than LeBron. Because the trio of guys in the conversation
would be Giannis, LeBron, and Kawhi.
Yeah, and Giannis, I would say Kawhi, KD, and LeBron.
Okay.
Giannis,
but I'm saying who are playing.
Tad
Durant's not
below.
playing.
Right,
that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
And here's my thing. It's not just, you could talk about there are guys who could put up better numbers and do stuff. It's his impact and what he does. I look at everything. And you could say LeBron's been to the finals more and all that. But this guy just wins and he makes a difference. The reason that Toronto...
So are you saying he's historically better than LeBron?
No, I'm just saying
now?
He's the best player. Right now, he's the best player. I know people want to say LeBron is. They wanted to give him the MVP this year and all that, which he's not going to get. But he's not better than Kawhi Leonard. And ultimately, that's going to be the reason why Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers are going to win the championship and not LeBron. And I know that there's a age difference and LeBron's got more. He's long in the tooth. I get all that. Kawhi is the best player. When I watch this guy play over and over, I just cannot get over where he is and Chris, taking his own career in his hands. He has set back. I'm for sure of this. The Spurs will be set back 10 years losing a guy like that. We saw the Raptors almost go down 0-3 yesterday. A year ago, there's no way that they would be in that position if Kawhi Leonard would still be on that team. That's how much he means when you stir and add water of Kawhi Leonard. I just think he brings the calmness that you need in a player. He never gets rattled. He's never too high, too low. He just has everything you would want in a guy to lead your team. And I think he's the best player in the league right now.
Let me ask you a question, Rob. In your eyes, does he walk on water?
No, he's not. He's not there. And I'm not saying he's the perfect guy and he does everything right or he has all the gaudy numbers. But if you ask me who I'd want to lead my team to win a championship, and we could pick any guy in the league, it would be Kawhi Leonard every single time. Not LeBron James, not Giannis.
All right. Enough! And I'm a Kawhi fan, but you are just going, I mean, my goodness. That's why I asked about the walk on water. I mean, what? You're ironing his T-shirts in the morning or what? I mean, come on, man. What? Are you talking? You always jump on me. Chris Broussard, you're a prisoner of the moment. Let it play out.
No,
and here
we've
goes
seen him.
Rob. Go on. I'll let you go off for 5 minutes in your little soliloquy, your ode to Kawhi after game 1 of the second round. Will you slow down a bit? I'm like you. I picked the Clippers to win as well. But it's not because Kawhi is better than LeBron. Let's see how these things play out. You always saying let it play out. Let it play out. The best player in the world may be determined over the next few weeks. And Kawhi is playing great. And he does have some advantages I like about him better than LeBron. Number one, the mid-range. All you young folks out there, all you parents who've got little kids that want to play basketball, and the coaches and their friends and even your sons and daughters themselves, all they want to do is shoot the three. Put in a tape of Kawhi Leonard. Sit them down with you tomorrow night and let them watch Kawhi Leonard. And then put in a tape from the last few years and let them watch Kevin Durant. The mid-range game is still valuable. And that's one thing Kawhi's got over LeBron. LeBron doesn't have that pull-up mid-range jumper. Those spots on the floor in the mid-range where if he gets to, it's virtually automatic. And that's a great advantage for Kawhi. I'll give him that. Obviously, at this stage, he's probably a better defender than LeBron. But, you know, Luka had his way with Kawhi. For the most part, Kawhi did okay. He's not the defender he used to be because I guess he focuses more on offense now. But he's still a pretty good defender. LeBron, though, when they met in game 1 of the bubble, LeBron showed that when he wants to, he can still D up. And he D'd up Kawhi. He's the only guy I've seen be able to stop Kawhi getting to his mid-range spots and hitting his mid-range jumper. But I will give Kawhi those things. But, you know, he's never going to win an MVP award regular season if he only is going to play 60 games. It's just not going to happen, and that will be a mark against him. But, you know, I'm with you, Rob, in that I like him. I'm just saying slow down. LeBron is more talented, and I still think right now, I think LeBron is still better. He does more. You know, he controls the tempo better. He obviously is a better passer and playmaker, scores just as much as Kawhi. Similar efficiency, actually a little bit better in the regular season. Kawhi's a better shooter, no doubt. And like I said, in the mid-range. Here's another thing I like better about Kawhi. He's not overly ball dominant. His game has a ton of similarities to Michael Jordan. It really does. And
that's
Doc
why
said
it's no shock that
some other players said it.
Yep. And then when I just gave you the stat, the last player to do it,
yep,
29 or more points in the first 7 postseason games, Michael Jordan in 1988. So you're right.
Yeah, but I would say, and you've said this before, it is easier to score. I mean, it's a lot easier to score now than it was in 1988.
Oh yeah,
we both know that.
It ain't even close.
Right. Close. But still, that's taking nothing away from Kawhi. I just want to see it play out. And I, as I said, I picked the Clippers too, but it wasn't because Kawhi's better than LeBron in my eyes. I think it's because they have more depth. They're both got good coaches, but I'd give Doc the advantage. But their depth and their defense, particularly on the perimeter, and their hunger, I just think is better 1 through 15 or 1 through 12 than the Lakers. But look, you're not off the wall by any stretch. I mean, heck, they're right there. They're right neck and neck.
When you
and
saw
with
them
Kawhi having the youth, yeah, he's tough.
When you saw them last night, Chris, finally, like, they're now 13-1. That's the number. It was 12-1 going into it when they're at full strength. Patrick Beverley was back last night. When you watched them last night, isn't that what they probably were envisioning? Like what they were able to do? Like they after the first quarter, I think it was 31 all. After that, it was over.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I mean, look, a tough first round and then a few days off in the bubble has given them time to kind of find themselves and get, like, Montrezl Harrell and Lou Williams were able to play themselves into shape in the first round. Marcus Morris he's balling.
He's balling out.
Yes. So
he's shooting the ball
acclimated
so well.
himself. And I'm sure, even though he got crushed, and I crushed him too with the stepping on Luka's foot, taking off his shoe, and some of the other things, I'm sure he endeared himself even more to his teammates with that stuff, though.
You love a guy like that.
Yes,
you know that,
yes.
Chris.
You hate to play against him, but you love playing with him. Absolutely. So I'm with you, Rob. I mean, if they play like that, I mean, we both
know they're not
going
to play every game, and they're going to lose some games. There's no doubt about it. But I'm just saying, you can see the vision of what that team is, and if all the working parts are together, I'll say this, Chris, they're not going to win every game. But I don't believe anybody can beat them 4 times in 7 games.
They probably have to hurt themselves.
Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, look, the Lakers are tough. I think I picked the Clippers, but, I'm not writing off the Lakers. But they need, they got AD and LeBron. And you don't know what in the world you're getting from anybody else. It's not that way with the Clippers. And so I agree with you. I think they're the better team. All right, 877-99 on Fox. Threw it out. Is Kawhi Leonard, as Rob Parker says, the best player in the world?
James in Chicago, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What you got, James?
My boys, man. It's good to be back on. But hey, Rob.
Yes.
I got something for you real quick. You and LeBron isn't that different because the older you get, the girls you date still the same age. The older he get, his superstar teammate is still the same age. Nothing. No
you
layup?
Lost me.
Okay.
You lost me.
Okay,
Did you follow that, Rob?
I'm trying to. Yeah, you got me
all
with
right,
that.
Go
one.
ahead,
Go
James. Yeah.
All right, but hey, Chris, this is for you. Kawhi Leonard is the better player than LeBron, and I'm gonna give you 3 reasons. The first reason is Kawhi could score from all 3 levels. LeBron is not a good mid-range shooter.
Right.
Okay. Kawhi, I seen Kawhi play in 3 different systems and win because I think he's gonna win another title this year. LeBron only seen LeBron be successful in one system. That's when he's ball dominant. And the third reason, Kawhi is a way better defender than LeBron ever has been, and especially now. Y'all seen when he was going against Luka, they had to set a screen for him every time.
How many Luka put on him?
No,
he shut down Luka?
No,
it wasn't always a screen. He didn't. I was shocked he didn't keep Luka in front of him more.
Yeah,
you gotta admit that. And he wasn't better. He ain't better than LeBron. LeBron used to be a top flight defender. Your first 2 points are fair. I actually think LeBron's in that Wilt Chamberlain mode where everything has to revolve around him, and that's hurt him as far as winning.
Okay. Okay. How did LeBron do against Jason Terry?
Jason Terry? We know he struggled in that series. I mean,
no doubt.
Of course, yeah. Nobody.
No, that was bad there,
right,
James.
We know
Thanks
that.
for the call. Appreciate it. How about Wes in South Carolina? You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What you got, Wes?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
What's up, man?
Not much, man. Hey, I'm going to tell you like this. I've been on Kawhi ever since that first year the Spurs played the Heat, and I didn't know who he was at the time. But I just saw the way he wasn't backing down from LeBron, and I've just been anybody who can buck up against somebody like LeBron and not back down, I said I'm going to keep my eye on him. And he's developed, and, Now, and I might sound a little backwards with this. I think LeBron is the best player all the time. But right now, Kawhi is definitely the best player in the league. And it's just like you guys said, one thing about it, when it gets to crunch time, I feel confident in Kawhi compared to LeBron.
No doubt about it. I think Chris will agree with that.
I would because LeBron doesn't have that mid-range. Like, he's either going all the way to the hole or he's shooting a long three.
Right. That's what he'll do.
That limits him.
And then the other part, too, is you're afraid when he steps up there to take free throws late in the game.
He's not as good of a free throw.
Am I right?
And I think, Rob, like when we think back to when the infamous pass to Kyle Korver in the corner, right? Right. And he was driving against Draymond, and everybody was like, why didn't you either keep driving or pull up or something? That's my point, though. He didn't have that where you can stop on a dime and just go up, right? Like Kawhi does for a nice little 12-footer or whatever, 10-footer. So if you even think about the game against, was it the Clippers, I believe, when he hit the game-winning layup? This right in the bubble, right? The shot he took was like a 15-footer, but because that's not in his game, it was awkward. He took it off like 1 foot and threw it up, but he followed it and got the put-back lay-in. But that's my point. Like, he doesn't have that, and that's a limitation for real.
No doubt. Tony in D.C., you're on the Odd Couple First Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Tony?
Fellas, what's going on? It's always nice to talk to y'all. Happy Friday to y'all.
What's up,
As a proud member of Parker's platoon, Chris Broussard, you remember the other night you said I ain't had no smoke for you?
Thing?
Yes.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, T-shirts are coming out.
Yeah, you remember? Because it's Broussard's
to get a Broussard's
Parker's
brigade.
platoon.
Who said who? This is the first I've heard of that.
I made it up. But anyway,
right, that's
you
pretty
said I ain't
good,
had no smoke for you the other night, right?
Bring
Broussard?
me some smoke.
You
Bring me
are
some
the
smoke.
ultimate prisoner of the moment. I guarantee you, when Bobby Brown dropped the Don't Be Cool album, you were the only person hollering, oh, he's better than Michael Jackson. Prince who? Bobby Brown is the man. Yo, you are the ultimate prisoner of the moment, Chris Broussard.
Because I foresee?
This man,
because I can
man,
look at Pat Mahomes and
Leonard
say he's got GOAT potential? Stop it.
This man, Kawhi Leonard, is going for his third championship in 8-9 years in the league, and he's going to be Finals MVP each time. Okay,
with three different organizations.
Steve Nash won the MVP, Chris Broussard. So who cares? This man is about chips. He's not getting all in his feelings because somebody tweets about him, comparing Scottie Pippen and all that. This man is focused with a capital F. You guys have a good Labor Day weekend. Parker platoon forever.
Not my man, Nick. Nick in South Carolina. Let's squeeze him in.
Jordans too. My goodness.
No, I did not. Nick in South Carolina. What's up, buddy?
Nick? Nick is with Broussard's brigade. I'm
no,
sure.
He's not. Stop it.
Oh, of course I'm with Broussard's brigade.
My man.
Nick, I just threw up.
South Dakota.
I just.
That's where
in
you're
South
at,
Carolina.
Oh, South Carolina.
I just threw up in my mouth. Go ahead, Nick.
This reminds me of that time that Rob thought James Harden was the best in the world after a few games.
Thank you.
No, it's not. It is not the same,
Perfect.
Nick.
It is exactly
It is not the same. It is not.
Rob, did you not say that?
It is not the same.
It
and
is
Nick,
exactly
you know
the
it.
same.
When
So
it's
Excellent point, Nick.
The best player in the world is like Chris says, it's a mythical status. It's not based on right here, right now. So when you look at guys like LeBron, who were always the best in the world for the past 10 years, he was always the best on his team in terms of the best scorer, the best passer, the best rebounder, best defender. And Kawhi has a chance to be the best, but I don't see him quite carrying that load. And on top of that, if his shot doesn't go in outside of defense, I don't really know where else he can.
Nah, you can't use that if his shot doesn't go in. I can't. He's shooting 64.5% inside the three. And you're talking about if his shot doesn't go in.
Outside.
And 29, he's averaging 29 points.
Just totally leaves
29 points a game, the first 7, just like Michael Jordan in 1988.
Nick,
I'm sorry.
Call.
Terrible, Nick. Don't call back here. Don't call back here.
Broussard's brigade forever.
You have some nerve to call this phone. Hang up.